Thank you for stopping by my channel. Tonight I want to discuss Destiny and his allegations and how he got in the position that he's in and the fundamental reasons of how you can wind up in that position. So basically for me, I remember when Destiny would go on the streams with Zerka and Sneeko and Nick Fuentes, and then he was also on No Jumper, and he had an open relationship. I guess that would be a good place to start. So he has an open relationship, and he, right there, basically marriage is like a thousands of year old tradition. Now you're trying to reinvent something. You're trying to do what's already been done, well-established ritual, well-established tradition, and to put a spin on things, open marriage, and then his marriage fails. Okay, so then he comes out and he says that he is bi, and that, you know, he doesn't see any error with anything, and that all this stuff is just religious, and basically no one can hold him back. And also, if you look at Destiny from an outside perspective, the guy seemed like he was on drugs pretty heavy, and that also ties into his case right now, because you have to be thinking, how did he get to where he is? So to bring him up to speed to 2025 is that he basically got caught for having his phone on and recording his interactions with people sexually. And then he would record them and send them to other people. And he did this without their knowledge. He recorded them without their knowledge, and then he distributed it without their knowledge. Now, why did this all happen? How did it all go wrong? The main reason why it all went wrong, how it all started, is because in his mind, anything he can argue, he can justify. Anything is okay as long as you can argue it. There is no right or wrong. There is no timeless laws. There are no forever morals. Everything is whatever situation I'm in. If it looks good, like a good idea, when in Rome, why not? Who can stop me? I'm on top of the world. I do what I want. So that thinking is at the fundamental core of what screwed Destiny, because he got too big. He got too big in his own mind, and he got humbled. And now, unfortunately for all the loose sex he's having and experimenting and doing drugs, now there are some very real consequences to that life and to those actions. Now it would be important to go and say to Destiny, if you could go back in time and not have sex with people that are not your wife. Destiny, do you think that it's not a good idea to be hooking up with dudes on Grindr and meeting random dudes in the gym? Do you think that maybe there's a reason why you should have followed some type of rules? Do you ever think that doing drugs, like hardcore drugs, and hooking up and then trying to use that to get even more sexual stuff, don't you ever think maybe you fucked up now? So, I'm not really going to speak on whether what he did was right or wrong and the victims and all that sort of stuff. I'm not even talking about that. I'm only talking about how do you get to that position? Because you get to that position because in your mind, whatever anything is debatable, anything can be rationalized, and whatever you can see in front of you is exactly what exists. There is no deeper meaning. There is no spiritual element. There is no there's no right or wrong. Anything goes. And then I remember he was on an interview, or he did an interview with Candace Owens, and she went to his place, and she's just like, you're almost a 40-year-old man with a teenage son, and you're out here doing all this stuff, sitting in your room being weird. And she like totally dissed him, and it was good. It was someone gave him a little bit of a reality check. And when you go and you start to be crazy and do what you do, it's one thing if you keep that to yourself. There's one thing if you don't go around and advertise it and advocate for it, and you're just out there having fun, whatever. But when you go out there and you say, oh, there's nothing wrong, you're asking for it, you're getting cocky, you're pushing against nature. You're pushing against the natural order of things, the natural law. So when you go out there and you think that you can just say to people and to young people, yeah, do whatever you want and this and that, and do OnlyFans and be in open marriages and have lots of partners and do lots of drugs, it's like, in some cases, if you're a criminal, which I feel like he's a spiritual criminal. Spiritually, he's a criminal. Spiritually, he was like spiritual criminal. Like, he wasn't like Pablo Escobar. He wasn't that level. He wasn't like some kingpin, but he definitely had some clout. That's why he's relevant. And now it turns out he's this weird, perverted guy, which I'm like, I don't know how stupid you have to be to think like, what? Something came out? I think anyone like that, no jumper guy, anyone, if someone started following him with a camera and had them edited out of context, they'd look like creeps. These are just creepy people. These are people that are, running different type of programs out there. So that concludes that. So please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching my channel. Thanks. Bye.